Hi old school basketball fans, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll take a look into an underrated NBA legend who was a part of the Bad Boy Pistons. Isiah Thomas was often forgotten when people talk about the best point guards of all time. So today's topic is, how good was Isiah Thomas actually? So let's get into the video. First of all, the Detroit legend was a winner at every level. Isiah played for Bobby Knight on Indiana, which he led to the NCAA championship. He beat Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, who are two Hall of Famers that many players couldn't take down. He also beat Magic Johnson and the Lakers in the finals. Why is Isiah often forgotten? Isiah had some great teammates like Joe Dumars and Mark Aguirre, but Jordan had Scottie, Larry had Parrish and McHale, and of course Magic had Kareem and James Worthy. How did he defeat these legends mainly by himself? And that's a very good question. Isiah played 13 seasons all with Detroit and averaged 19.2 points and 9.2 assists for his career. He made it possible for small guards to play in the NBA. He came in at 6'1" and only at 180 pounds. He was only one of 3 small point guards in NBA history to lead his team to a championship. Russ Williams did it in 1979 and Steph Curry did it in 2015. But other than that, no other small guard has done this before. We can't forget Isiah is also one of 3 players to retire, averaging 19 points and 9 assists for his career. So some memorable Isiah moments. In 1988, Isiah severely sprained his ankle versus the Lakers in the third quarter of Game 6. But what did he do? He continued to play on it and still scored 25 in the quarter and ended the game with 43 points. In 1989, Isiah carried the Pistons versus the Bulls in Chicago and scored 14 points in the fourth quarter.
He is 2.5 from getting back. But if the Pistons are going to move on to play the Lakers, and the difference between this year and last year, Detroit will have the home court edge and start Tuesday night at the Palace. 13 playoff games, 13 times they've held the opposition under 100 points. One of the best defensive teams in memory in the NBA are the Detroit Pistons, coached by Chuck Daly. And now they will take that great defense against the Los Angeles Lakers, who have only won every game in the playoffs thus far, 11-0, and want to win a 3rd straight world title. What an NBA Finals we are in store for, and it'll all begin Tuesday. Bulls have a lot to be proud about.
In 1984, in the NBA playoffs versus the Knicks, Isiah scored 16 points in 90 seconds to force the game to go into overtime.
He was able to take the game over, basketball in his hands. Everybody in the arena, everybody on the opposing team knew that he was going to take the shot, and he was still able to knock them down time after time after time. When it was all said and done, he had scored 16 points over 90 seconds of elapsed game time, and it was an incredible thing to watch.
And did they hold their breath when that shot went up like we did?
Isiah's the only one that wasn't holding his breath. He knew it was good from the release.
Unfortunately, we didn't win the game, but when he pretty much put the team on his back and personally went right at the New York Knicks, you absolutely felt like you were uplifted. I know I was still seated, but I felt like I was standing or maybe floating. It was unbelievable.
3 seconds, 2, up to Tucker. The horn sound. The foul does not count. We'll go to overtime.
Oh, what a finish.
What an amazing comeback.
And of course, his back-to-back NBA championships in 1989 and 1990, plus the 1990 Finals MVP award.
We fought for 15 years to do this. The last 3 have been real tough in the finals. As you know, we were here last year trying to do it, but it's great, and the harder you work, the better it is.
Bill, I know one of the keys. Isaiah, tell me your thoughts now. I know how hard you've worked for this. Come on over here where everybody can see. This means so much to Isiah Thomas. Put it into your words for us now.
You know how they always tell you, strive to be the best you can be and try to get everything out of yourself that you can as a basketball player, your potential.
So why did Michael Jordan and Isiah have beef? Actually, the infamous exclusion of Isiah Thomas from the 1992 Dream Team was a part of it. Was it Jordan's fault that he wasn't on the team? In the Last Dance documentary, Jordan endorsed the decision by stating, "You want to attribute it to me? Go ahead and be my guest, but it wasn't me."
I respect Isiah Thomas's talent. To me, the best point guard of all time is Magic Johnson, and right behind him is Isiah Thomas. No matter how much I hate him, I respect his game. Now, it was insinuated that I was asking about him, but I never threw his name in there. Based on the environment and the camaraderie that happened on that team, it was best harmony. Would Isiah made a different feeling on that team? Yes. You want to attribute it to me? Go ahead, be my guest. But it wasn't me.
Isiah also popped up on the ESPN's ranking of top 74 players in NBA history, and surprisingly enough, Thomas came in at number 31. Is this realistic? Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, John Stockton, and Giannis Antetokounmpo were listed right before him. Do you agree with this ranking? Let's remember, Isiah led the Pistons to back-to-back championships with only one other teammate who ranked on this list, which was Dennis Rodman, and he came in at number 62.
You had an interesting statement to the Detroit News recently. Let's just take a little look at what you told the journalism there. It's almost as if the Bad Boys became the people's choice, not necessarily the institutional choice.
Facts.
We became the people's champ. Still
Facts.
today, it goes Bird, Magic, and then it goes Jordan, and it's almost as if we didn't exist.
Yeah, that they just skip over an era that we thoroughly dominated in. And, we say we won, people say we won 2 championships. We say we won 3.
Oh.
We were the first team to really three-peat because we really got holes.
Oh, that Kareem foul?
Kareem foul. Come on.
I know what play you're talking about.
We really got holes.
Yes.
So I look at it and say we're the first team in that era to win 3. And when you talk about our era,
Isiah Thomas was a 12-time All-Star, a 3-time All-NBA Team first-team performer, and he was a mix of Pistol Pete Maravich. He had the ISO ability of Kyrie Irving and the longevity of Archibald. He was truly a legend and does not get the respect that he deserves. To defeat primetime Jordan, the Lakers, and the Celtics is an amazing accomplishment, and even Jordan gave him credit in The Last Dance, even though they hated each other. So how good was Isiah Thomas to you? Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for tuning in to watch today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.